Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking to me. Watch how you talking. Have you ever seen snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Fall in the six. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Fall in the six. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? If I knew back then what I knew right now, I'd be on right now. I'm the nigga right now. I'm the nigga right now. Got your bitch right now. Since you want it right now, getting litty right now. Wanna take me right now, outside right now. Please do not get in my face. You know that I'm riding nowhere. I just needed my space. I drink it straight with no chase. Love when you making that face. Living out a suitcase. Annie, are you okay? I fuck you good the long way. Watch how you talking to me. 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 Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six?
She's a keeper, legs like Serena, strong like Xena, turn into a screamer. She's a dancer, money from Atlanta. She's a cancer, phone ring, no answer. I'm getting litty, mixed dirty with the fana. My life a movie, I always got a camera. I'm at Cabana, she's sucking my banana. Ooh, na-na. If we never met, I'm there right now. Put a bullet in my hair right now.
Yeah, I'm living off of moonlight, moonlight. Talking but you don't fight. About a new life.
Kind of crazy.
On another level, reach a new height.
This is kind of crazy.
I can't bless you for my gun mind. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Fall in the six. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? Fall in the six. Yeah, I'm living off of moonlight, moonlight. Have you ever seen a snowfall in the six? What I know right now, what I know right now, if I knew right now, what I knew right now, I be on 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 right now.
All right, let's commence. Greetings and salutations. I like the two camera thing. I'm with the two cameras. You know, I'm with that. I like the two cameras. Being able to switch back and forth. Greetings and salutations. I hope everybody's been having themselves a mighty fine day. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell of dawn so the Phantom Minimum cult doesn't come and turn you into a VVS diamond. All right. I'm thinking about switching it up. Maybe I'll do something Phantom Minimum related. Now, all being said, I thought everything I read today from Kuber, the Tower of God, was anything from an 8.5 to a 9. Really good stuff this week. Very pleased with the weekly chapters. I thought Tower of God injected an incredible amount of intrigue with the Phantom Minimum cult and Mago and everything, and we'll get to that. We'll focus on it. We'll talk about some other things first. But just genuinely a good chapter. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't think SIU has the best track record of stuff like this, so I'm worried. I feel like he's on a tightrope where he has to one misstep and he falls into the vat of acid. He's got to be very careful on how he integrates this. I'll make it all make sense. But how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing, man? I apologize for not doing this yesterday. I was just really tired. It's actually very hot. We're in a heat warning in Toronto. It's ending today. Canada's ending today. Well, Toronto. I don't know about the rest of Canada. So we had up to like 40 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So that's very hot for us. It's also very humid here. Just give you guys a little bit of what I told on Twitch. I'm in the middle of a process of getting a really like big deal job over here in Toronto, which would be for our major transit system, the TTC. So after doing all of that stuff yesterday, I was very tired. I didn't have the energy. I wanted to come with good energy, to entertain and actually speak to you guys properly. So I decided not to do it yesterday. And also, gotta say it here too, shout out to OKC. Y'all won. Love to see it. Shout out to SGA, Canadian. I know where he's from, you know. I know people he knows. I know where he's from. And shout out to Lou Dort, Montreal, Quebecois. There was another 2 Canadians on Indiana, but shout out to them, man. So shout out to Canada, you know. Gonna put on for my country. We don't get a lot of love. You gotta take it when you can. when we got something, you gotta wave your flag a little bit, just put it back down. So, anyways, yo, what's poppin'? I'm good. Hopefully, this new job situation shakes out really well. I'll be very happy. I'll be so close to 6 figures plus YouTube income. I'm right there. I'll be right there. So, Phantom Minimum Cult finally confirmed. Yep, I know, right? I've been waiting for that. I have more faith in them than I do FUG and Revolution, but it's too bad that they have a Urek'S Mazino problem. That Dolphin Queen really got slapped by Urek and said, "You got it, big bro. Appreciate you not beating my ass." Honestly, more people are learning that Urek'S is him. It was just 40 degrees Celsius down here in, what's MN? Minnesota? Manhattan? What's MN? Manchester? No, not Manchester. A few days ago. Hi. Haha. So yeah. Ooh. Okay. So a few things. I actually have to pull the chapter back up. I don't have it up right now. I will say that both translations this week were not up to snuff. Though I thought Vortex was much worse. I was reading the Comic K one we usually get, but that was on a Google Drive. On a Google Drive. The reason I mentioned this because what I didn't like is that the Vortex scan translation actually has somebody insinuate that Mazino could be an irregular. And I just don't think that's what the translation is really saying, if I'm being quite honest. Phantom Minimum Cult descendants are created FUG, mark my word, says Neo. Okay, welcome. Baskerville is the best test supervisor so far. Actually, shout out to him. He seems to be one of the few that truly understand Mazino's different and was able to immediately, like, he's not really theorizing. He was able to recognize the Queen Net Dolphin knows that she is no longer the apex predator in this current environment and or ecosystem. It's Urek'S Mazino. I guess she came to check to make sure, got hit lightly, confirmed I cannot whoop him, and I have people to feed and things to do. I'm my head out, big dog. Thank you for not packing me. Like crazy stuff. Thank you for not putting me in a spliff. So that was very interesting. It's a lot different from what we kind of thought was going to happen a few weeks ago with Evelyn controlling the Net Queen Dolphin. However, maybe the Dolphin got up because it sensed Mazino's presence coming to its territory or something of the sort. Conversely, it's still not too late for Evelyn to maybe control a bull or something in the predicament that she's in. So I'm actually still invested in what's going on over there with her. So we'll see how it plays out and everything. But I'm with you. Baskerville, my dog, the dog, Mr. Dog, the puppy. He's a real one. I like him. Baskerville, definitely the new top 5 favorite characters. I'm with it. The Drive translators always drops on Comic K at the same time. Shin drops it in 2 different ways. Vortex needs to get stuff together. he said, go away. And one of them, he said, I'll let you go. Like the stream or else Urek will go bald. I still think Evelyn will still control the dolphin. Okay. I think Evelyn has something up her sleeve, given her brief appearance. She also kind of did the shh. Like, don't even say nothing. I could. You're right. Comet K usually does end up having it. But how do I always end up on One Piece when I kick this in? Urek Mazino. I always end up on One Piece. It's so funny, yo. Oh, you're right. I have it here now. I have it here now. 1 second, because I think the glare for this view is a little crazy. Let me just, you know what I mean? All right. I think Evelyn has something up her sleeve. Oh wait, yeah, sorry, you said that. I found her saying thank you, adorable. It felt polite. It felt polite sounding. It could be literally one of those things where like the queen net dolphin might not be a. There are certain animals in the animal kingdom that are not particularly malicious or predatory. They just act off their instincts. As the queen of the dolphins, maybe she feels a very strong sense of responsibility. So Mazino not like packing her and letting her live is like, I can still feed, protect, and do what I need for my kid, my people, my sons, whatever, however it works. So she was like, thank you, because he's supposed to fight something strong. He's not interested in destroying an ecosystem environment just because of his saying the analogy and him being a fight sexual. So, yeah. Evelyn's quite intelligent, keeps a cool head. We see that when she met Lou, and now again trapped with the bull. I think this chapter saw confirmed that there's a time difference between inside and outside the tower, given how Phantom Cloud was able to form by the time Urek entered and started on floor 2. Agreed. This was something a few of us believed, me included, but yes. Ideally, if I was chasing Phantom Minim and he gets in the tower an hour before I do, he could have done a lifetime of things, I guess, to some degree, before I got in there. Time is completely different. I don't know what the discrepancy is. I can't do that kind of math. But basically, you know, for like Dragon Ball, 1 day outside equaled 1 day in the chamber. 1 year in the room of Spirit of Time, you might know it as the hyperbolic time chamber. I can't break down the math of 1 day equals point. I don't know what the math is, but like something like that. So yeah. How many jewels do you think Phantom Minim left around the tower? That's a good. I feel like one of the translations I read said that. Well, why don't just check? I have the power of the internet. I can just check. Chapter 1, Urek'S Ascent. There was order, flash of light, chaos, time, life. Okay, the 6 brightest creatures among them. That's what I was looking for. So here's my best guess. I'm still gonna check the other translation to see if they had a number thing. I remember them saying there was like 6 really bright ones. Yeah, like it says amongst them, they call themselves the shining ones. Okay, well, this one doesn't give me a number, but it does say there was some exceptional beings amongst the beings that were created by light. I say that to say this. I think the 6 or the strongest of the shining ones, luminous ones, he's kept the diamonds on him. I believe he's turned some of the duller, lesser ones into ones. I think some of those are in the tower. As for how many, I could not tell you. I have no idea. My answer is 1. And maybe he left 1 that he liked and he has 5 with him. My question back to you is, what is the purpose and point of him having a cult and following in the tower if we think he doesn't care about it? I think the general thought process was he didn't care about the tower. If he's left the luminous one thing to evolve into Mago to become the queen, maybe he sized up Zahar to some degree and see like, yeah, you and Mago could mate or something. Like, I'm not entirely sure. You know what I'm saying? Routine Poet, my boy, $20 US. I appreciate you. Gonna have to watch the VOD again, but wanted to say I enjoyed the chapter a lot. It's cool to see Phantom Minim lore influencing the tower. Nah, absolutely. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, man. I have so many thoughts. They're so disorganized right now. I need time to get there, but I'm with you. It is dope. I like it. Okay. Can I pull up my chat here? Like the video, everybody. Like the video. I want the chat, and I want it here. If I can get it here. Thank you. Mago means magician in Spanish. I wonder if it plays into her power set. That's crazy. I knew that. I didn't make that connection, but I knew that. Cause there's even a game called Mago, and that's where I learned that. There's an indie game called Mago. That's where I learned that. And I'm pretty sure I've heard them say it in Spain a few times with Lionel Messi, but I actually think I knew that. Do you think the dude with Evelyn's Mr. Lou? I can't tell Evan, but I don't think it's him. The only counterexample I could think of to this is if Phantom is still a classic Axis and wrote himself enough time to develop a cult. That makes sense. I think that concept is probably gone, but I'm with you. That would make sense. In the game, the princess in the spin-off said Phanta attacked long before she said a princess even though he entered the tower just before Urek'S did. Indeed. I wonder if the time discrepancy also contributes to the longer lifespans on top of the effects of Shinsu. That's a great question. Also, does this mean SIU is giving us another confirmed irregular? It would seem so, yes, because they were created outside the tower, the luminous ones. I think he could be trying to level up Urek'S. I think wherever I fall, I think that theory has become a lot more plausible with this chapter. I didn't like it at first, but now I think it holds way more weight now. Way more weight. I think she's going to save Evelyn. She seems really focused from what it looks like. Phanta Def dropped a duplicate low rarity gem like duplicate Pokemon card to make room for more inventory space. I'm crying. What if loose like spells are related to Phanta and he's actually the strongest person except for the irregular ones? I think that's a very interesting concept and a very interesting way to look at it. Damn, I'm so ignorant. This whole time I was reading Mago, my mind was on a Kanu's Mago. No. That's funny. Shout out to Japan though. Okay. I want to get this out of the way, and I want to make it clear that I'm not criticizing him yet. Originally, when the Urek'S Mazino spin-off and side story was coming, I did not expect to get this deep. Maybe into some things very personal to his character and Wolhike's song and stuff like that, but I didn't think we would have lore so transformative. It kind of flips the way we have to look at Tower of God from a beginning standpoint, and then possibly all the way to the end. We'll see. There was just darkness. Then light came. Beings were born. Urek'S is just not some random dude from outside the tower. He is like the last and latest of the luminous ones. A very powerful race of beings that Phantom Minim was turning into diamonds. Into jewelry. So that's the first step. We had no idea. That completely flips certain things on its head. And with him confirming that from what he can tell, the despair conversation, plus some other little tidbits, we almost have to say for the time being, the 13 great warriors come from different places, or at least they don't come from where Mazino comes from. This could be multiple timelines. This can be different time periods, different worlds, a dimensional thing, a combination of a few, if not all, or multiple of those concepts. We have to stay open to all that. Now, here's where I get like, I hope we do this properly. Injecting this lifeblood into Tower of God, I do think could make the story 1,000 times more intriguing. But to me, Phantom Minim for a long time, and even now to some degree, Urek'S Mazino, the luminous ones, the darkness, these are Tales user story concepts to me that have links and connection to Tower of God. They're not completely separated, but Tower of God is kind of its own thing with some loose connections to things outside of it. Maybe he's trying to fuse them more, the outside and the tower, and connect them more. That's not a problem, but you got to be careful. You have to be careful. Because if this messes with the natural ecosystem that Tower of God already has by introducing these things, it could make the story very messy. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it at that. Again, I'm cautiously optimistic, but he has to walk this tightrope carefully and not fall into the lava pit. The big question for me is how many of the mysteries will be solved in the spin-off versus what will be saved for the main series. A great question. Fanta definitely. What if Lucy? Wait, I read that already. Do you think the decision that Correct took on the Dolphin Queen is mirroring his decision on Jihad? Maybe he thought he was more important to the tower than people give him credit for. So you're saying you think Mazino took pity on Zahard when he met him, or are you saying that Phantom Minim took pity when he saw him? I don't know that Mazino and Zahard met yet, so the jury's still out on that one. Lucelek said he comes from the darkness. Fanta, yup, it's possible. What if Lucelek is a phantom baby, as in like a legitimate child descendant, or like I've injected you with some of my powers type of thing? Official releases are cooked. They are getting season 4 before the Mazino spinoff. They might not even get the Mazino spinoff at this point, honestly. What if some of the hidden FUG gods come from Fanta? It's possible. I'm a come back to that. They've never dropped UM on Webtoon. Oh wow. I think that Fanta knows about Urek, and just adjusts the tests to him so Urek could become stronger, become a cooler stone in his collection. That's how you really put way more effort and lore than I expected into the side story. I appreciate his desire to try to expand the lore, but his track record for this kind of thing has been shaky so far, and that's why I brought it up. Because as much as we enjoy the series, I gotta be honest. Like, I don't think he's handled stuff like that really well when there's almost an established status quo and he injects a completely new concept to it. I even think One Piece is somewhat having a problem with this, with the whole Nika situation. What's up, Lizard? The Phantom Cult's not moving you. Either Bio Baby or Weird Creation or Zahard Princess-like Baby. I'm with it, Han. I'm with it. Okay. Retroactive continuity, retcons, are not inherently a bad thing. They're not. It depends on how it's used. I think you could overdo it. I think it could be bad. I think it could be good. I think it could be somewhere in the middle. If we're retconning some people in FUG to be followers of Phantom Minim, or maybe some of the Slayers to be followers of Phantom Minim, I think it could work. But if you don't handle it perfectly, it gets messy. It can get messy. Wow, my train of thought just vanished. That's crazy. Anyways, what y'all say? That's crazy. That's age. Nah, that's weed. Not gonna lie, looking at these new people as Phantom Fan Club, not an official group until proven otherwise. Okay. Oh, unofficial. Okay, unofficial. Okay. What if Mago is Bam? This wouldn't be the first time you got a new name. I'm not there yet. Because it said that Mago will become the queen of the tower, and Bam's not a girl. I also wonder if does that have deeper implications? Like, what does the queen of the tower mean? Are you partners with Zahard? Are you over Zahard? Are you under Zahard? Is it so you and Zahard can create a baby? Would Mago luminous womb be strong enough? What do you guys think? What does that mean to you? Luckily, SIU's been cooking so far with the side story, so I'm hopefully optimistic. But I think we'll truly know the full repercussions from this story when we're back in the main story. We're lock and step there, lock and step. I hope they succeed and survives, and this into the modern story. You said her name is Magician, and one of the three lords title has a title of Magician. So do you think SIU is retconning one of the three lords? Could it be that one of the three lords tried to be Zahar's queen and didn't work out? I think Mago got destroyed personally. I think Mazino took them out. I don't think Mago currently exists anymore. That's my best guess. What if Mago is Rachel? What's your reasoning? What's your theory? What do you think? I had the thought in a brief moment, but I couldn't make it make sense. So like in comics when they have a thought bubble, I did this. Like no. That doesn't make any sense. What's your thought, though? What's your thought process? Make it make sense to me. It's funny that the tower is a passageway for all sorts of powerful entities, and none of them have tried to kill Zahar yet. Suspiciously. Ooh, what are you saying? He can't be stopped. He's too strong. He's too important. Michelle Light? No way, right? I don't like the idea of Fanta and his cult being players in the tower. It was way better when he disappeared at once, and that was an anomaly. I'm with you, Lizard. I'm going to see how it plays out because I don't know that it's going to seamlessly integrate these two concepts, but let's just see. Before I get angry, before I get mad, before I be negative, I'm going to just chill, let it happen, and judge later. I just came. I don't know if you talked about it, but do you think Urek and the Dolphin was a foreshadowing about Urek and Zahar? As in, he didn't take the king out because he realized the king's rule was important to the ecosystem and natural order of the tower? No, I don't. I never like retcons. If I took the time to memorize some information from a story and later that info gets retconned, I feel like my time and energy was wasted. What if it leads to something a little more interesting, or maybe it was a very early concept that maybe that author had it fleshed out in a very long narrative, and by the time they got to a certain point, the reason they changed something was so it can kind of fit better with the current status quo of the story. With me, I just look at it. I don't look at it as a good or a bad thing. I look at it as a tool that can be used. And sometimes retcons are a little bit soft, like a soft retcon, or it's not as invasive. But I look at it like a baseball bat. A baseball bat to me is not inherently a good or bad object. It is a tool utilized in the sport of baseball, to hit the ball. You can argue that's the good use of it, baseball. When it's not being used, that's the neutral form of it. But if I decide to take the bat and bash somebody in the head with it, I'm using it for evil, for bad. That's how I see retcons. It can be used. It could be good to me. It could be bad. It could be somewhere in the middle. But generally speaking, if you can make an entire story without making a single retcon, I'm with you, Pantagana. Don't do it. I'd prefer a story not have one. So that much I can agree with. I'm with you there. But I could if I really dig into my archives from video games and comics and manga and stuff, I'm sure I can find examples where I'm like, that was a good idea in the long run. That retroactive continuity. Like the stream, like the video, people. Like it. Karaka talks about darkness a lot. I think Karaka's connection still has more to do with Wagner and Zahar. And his Shinsu quality is more darkness and whatnot. I don't think he's related to Phantom in him. Mago Rachel, just a hopeful crack at the moment from me. I'm not mad at it, though. I hope Phantom doesn't even know they exist. They could have just saw him walking and decided to get on their knees. Yes. Rachel could be the reincarnation of Mago. Interesting. There's so many half-thoughts I have about Rachel's past that this is just another one of the collection. Another one for the collection. I'm not mad at it. Tiara. Hold on. Pen. Darkness. Ink. No, let me stop. I don't think Phantom would set up a ruler to be second fiddle to Zahar, and technically Mago is a new irregular. Indeed. Mine has always been that Rachel's soul is the original baby Zahar killed. I like that. I actually like that one. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if the reason we haven't seen the Phantom Minim cult in modern TOG is because Urek killed them all. That's what I think actually happened. I think he nipped this in the bud immediately, pulled it from the root. Nothing else is there right now. That's why we haven't really heard about it. But I have been wrong once. I've been wrong twice, and I will be wrong again. Mago was Bam's twin sister. Shit, my twinning them. Maybe Mago is Icarus, a luminous one that flew too close to the sun and got snuffed out by the darkness of Phantom. New spontaneous crack theory. I kind of like it. For our theory, you pulled out the crease of your butt. That was pretty damn good. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Question. Mazino here starts off by kind of thinking to himself that he wants to kill the test supervisor, but he wants to also meet Zahard and possibly get out the tower. Right? Do you think the reason that his current goal right now is to leave the tower is because perhaps he's worried about the level of influence Phantom Minim has across dimensions, timelines, worlds, whatever the case may be, to the point that even in the tower, he's creating beings that devour the light. And he's thinking to himself, it was fun, it's cool, I'm going to still climb and become a ranker or whatever, but I need to get out sooner rather than later because Phantom Minim has to be stopped. Just so you guys know, my tinfoil hat theory is that Mazino gets out the tower during the Tower of God story and like gives Bam his like blessings and everything, like, you got this, you can defeat the king, I'm not even worried about what's happening in here, but I have my own ish to take care of. And perhaps while Bam is dealing with Zahard or whatever being is above the 134th floor, out there in the outside world, Urek'S and Phantom Minim have their final battle. Does he get turned into a diamond? Or does chaos and light prevail? That's what I'm thinking. I don't have all the events and how they, connect, but that's my big picture takeaway. That's what I'm moving with for the time being. Again, I'm not a theory person. It's not my territory. It's not my bag. I'm more of the critical thinker, analysis, deconstruction of what's already taken place. That's more my bag, but yeah. Yeah. To be honest, after this spin-off, Phantom became a fully fledged character in the story and not just a one-frame cameo character. It's true. And if I'm being honest, it's not to say I've never had interest in Phantom Minim, but I never cared about how he integrated the Tower of God too much. But now I do. Now I have a lot more intrigue. Urek'S exterminating the Phantom Cult is my assumption, indeed. You know what would be crazy is that someone like Gustang shows up to deal with Mago and he cannot hang at all, and Urek'S is the only one who can win. That's why the family heads leave Urek'S alone. Because Luminous 1 plus irregularness, it's broken. Because I think to some degree you come in with the skill sets and physical abilities and intelligence, whatever, that you have. It's just that if you're an irregular, your growth rate is likely going to be cracked and the laws don't apply to you. I'll use the example I always use. Me coming into the tower, I'd be human-based impressive. Good human reaction, speed, strength, stamina, defense, durability. But I wouldn't be an outlier, I guess. But with Shinsu, maybe being loved by Shinsu, blessed by Shinsu, I'd quickly get strong like Bam to some degree. Now, let's use the last son of Krypton. Kal-El. Clark. Joseph. Kent. Superman. He would come into the tower with his Kryptonian physiology and DNA, assuming there's somehow in some way, let's just say magically somehow the sun exists in the tower, the yellow sun, and he still can get yellow solar radiation. So he still have access to all of his Kryptonian's abilities. Flight, super breath, arctic breath, invulnerability, super strength, super speed, x-ray vision, super hearing, all that. But with Shinsu on top of, you get what I'm saying? So being on a regular plus a luminous one seems to be pretty cracked right now. It's pretty broken. It's pretty OP. So your Gustang scenario makes a lot of sense to me. It makes sense to me. I do think Urek trying to stop Phantom Minim is still his main priority. I agree. Phantom about to have more screen time than Enryu at the end of Tower God, which is a crazy thought to have. How do you guys think Enryu fits into all this, so to speak? You know, how does he fit into this? Also, despite Mazino not needing to kill the Net Dolphin Queen to get the crown, why didn't he at least take the crown or ask for the crown or something? I found that to be a little strange. It seems like they can communicate. Maybe he said thank you and he couldn't tell, and that was more for us, the audience. But it's like, if I'm him, I still have a test to win. I'm taking the tiara off your head. You're not keeping that. You know what I'm saying? If there is a Fanta cult, maybe Zahard actually had an idea of who Zahard... if there is a Phantom Minim cult, maybe Zahard actually had an idea of who Zahard was even before he met him. Would make... Okay, yeah, I was like, Fantas, yeah. Like, what? Would make the meeting between them that much more interesting. I would like to... At this point, I'd like to see what he did and how Yuri saw him. I would like to see it at this point. I would. I'm with you. If we ever see Enryu, imagine if he speaks in, like... He speaks dot, red like Pokemon. I'll never forget the first time I saw Red up there. I'm like, yo, that's me from the other game. And he proceeded to whoop me. I was not ready for that battle. Enryu's absurd level of Shinsu versus Urek'S luminous one power seems the most unbalanced now. Yeah, and I guess if there's a luminous one, there's got to be one that comes from the darkness, which you can call Phantom Minim, the leader of that. So that makes him dangerous too. And I think out of all the 13 great warriors, I don't think they necessarily have a luminous one, darkness one, messenger of God connection. I think they're just irregulars. But I think Zahard and V amongst them were special out of the 13. Want to slip Arlene in there, maybe little slipper in there, maybe. But I'm not fully convinced. But like, you know, like, I would give V and Z. I almost said something so sus. What? I would give them like, yo, out of 13, y'all to the top of the food chains. You're exceptional amongst these 13, even though these 13 are already exceptional. Call them a genius amongst prodigy or a prodigy amongst geniuses, if you will. Urek day one can hang with, I'm guessing, Danzan's at least. I think that's not just a ranker. But I'm sure he can beat Rahab, who's a higher ranker. And it seems like all the test people were worried about the net Queen Dolphin thing, so maybe they're comparable, but Mazino's stronger. Right now, I have Mazino at about advanced ranker level. I don't doubt that he's already high ranker level, but yeah, not with Shinsu, by the way, with luminous one powers. I wonder if Urek is currently above Data Zahard and how much further he would be. He is. I would probably wager to some degree. A peak tower Urek with light power can probably definitely hang with Enryu. Like the video of Fanta will turn you into a diamond. Beat your ass. I think Arlene was irregular, but she said, nah, hold my spell book and took her spot as the best spellcaster. Okay, it could be that she excelled in something much better than the rest of them that was maybe harder for them to grasp. It's totally possible. I'm with it. But yeah, I just wanted to know, like, by the way, I like the banter between the tests, talking about, like, what should we do? She's wearing the crown. It's the worst situation. And then he's like, Danzon's there, and like, oh, he's reliable. Not as a man. I don't think he's ugly, but he's reliable. Then he's like, yo, he's on the ground. Oh, by the way, the regular punched him. That was kind of funny. And then we spoke about this at the beginning, but I wanna highlight it again. I think it's truly important to highlight that Baskerville to me right now is the coolest right now out of the test supervisors, because he already understands Mazino is stronger than all of them. He gets it already. I'm surprised he hasn't necessarily used the term irregular, but credit to the other like ranker lately. She's like, usually if this happens in the animal kingdom, it's because they're of comparable strength or weaker, so they don't engage. But nah, he's just a regular. You can't do that. Baskerville gave him his full props. Like, you are now the apex predator in this ecosystem. You are the top dog. You are the Don Dada. You are the king of the food chain. You win. That's my dog. I can't help it. I can't help myself. It's right there. That's low hanging fruit. I won't make that joke again. But yeah, like, that's my guy. I like him. Even the part when he was telling Mazino, okay, it's unruly or whatever, you can't control it yet, subdue it, and it'll take you many years. And Mazino said, I need 2 days. And he looked back and said, all right, then do it in 2 days. That didn't seem like he's like dismissing him. He truly, in my opinion, believed he could do it in 2 days. And this is just more confirmation of no. Urek'S Mazino is truly different. The next connection I would like him to make is he's an irregular, perhaps, or have that thought. That would be. I think he has shown that his cerebral horsepower is strong enough that he could possibly get to that conclusion, even though it's not common and it's not what most people will jump to, even if a regular is seemingly super talented. I think Urek'S is the strongest one on the floor besides the admin and possibly the floor ruler. I'm not mad at that. I think the one with the black hair is related to Neo, maybe a sister or mom. She even has the same eye mole on her eye. I'll get there. I'm with you. I'll get there. I thought it was Neo, actually, originally. Arlene's spell casting is my headcanon for how she got out the tower. Same. I'm sure Enryu himself has some outside abilities. That's why I just called him the messenger of God. I don't know what to use for him. The creator of red witches, whatever you want to call him, you know? I wonder what Baskerville's relation to Yama is. Is he a beastkin or actually a dog or some type of dog race, or like Levi, Bevy, Devi being like a pig man or a man pig or whatever? Since I missed the last stream, it's crazy Urek'S wanted to throw hands with the admin frame 1. It's true. You could say Baskerville had that dog in him. I could see Enryu being TOG's Gilgamesh. Zasho! Mongrel! You think he... Wait, in what sense? Like, his, like, more so like his role thematically, personality, both? What do you mean by that? Is Enryu on his Gates of Babylon just 9,000 bangs? You're a mongrel? I love Gilgamesh so much. From Fate. Unless you're talking about Gil from the actual whatever, but I'm not 100% too familiar with all that right now. The Tale of Gilgamesh. Is that what it's called? The Tale, the Story, the Fable of Gilgamesh? What's it called? But yeah. Shout out to Gil, man. Shout out to him. Were you guys... I wasn't surprised by this, but I want to ask, were you guys surprised by Mazino's reaction after Danzon told him she's important to the ecosystem and environment? Were you guys surprised that he let her go? I wasn't. And I think at this point it's time for us to circle back. So I want to kind of read it a little bit. So let's look here. Let's just pull it up for a little bit and read. I think this portion is the most important. So let's get into this, right? So there's the Lou shirt. Now you tell me if you think this is Mr. Lou. I don't think it is, because I think he would have said Miss Evelyn, and his face looks different. The facial expression looks different, but it could be a perspective or art trick. But I don't think this is the Mr. Lou that we know, but similar shirts. I'm wondering, too, if this is one of the luminous ones that got his light taken from him or something. So, hey, she's like, shut up. So, it said this person is in the testing area. Yeah, that idiot went there. This looks like Neo from the back to me a little bit with whatever that sea and enemy thing is. Said that the Ascent that escaped went there. She looks bad, by the way. these outfits look a little different. I think this person here looks like Neo is this person down here with the call up. And I think the girl with the glasses is someone else somewhere else. Even though that I warned him that he shouldn't enter the regulars area, he was a pain in the ass. Rahab will have a headache. Let him do whatever he wants. Who would notice an unlightened gem wandering around? Unlightened. I thought that was a specific choice of words. Besides, even if someone finds out, it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, this is a flower, not an enemy. Sorry. Soon, when that flower is completely tinged with darkness, that person will awaken. Who was once the brightest. Now, if you're taking that literal, could that mean this was the brightest and strongest of the luminous ones? Or just of the ones they've seen? But will now be the darkest. Mago. The person who by the will of Lord Phantom Minim will become the new queen of the tower. Does that mean replace Zahard, mate with Zahard, or be above Zahard? What does that mean to you guys? And then I'll read the other translation in a second, because I thought that was very important to read. Urek not bloodthirsty, so it's a surprise. Nah, also planting the seeds in his head to come back to it when he deals with the Zagnia. Hair different too. I thought that was Neo at verse 2. Not surprised by Urek'S reaction, as while he is a bit reckless at times, he's not the type to purposely cause significant problems unless it's to explicitly further his own goals. Yeah, okay, so we're on the same page there. So while you guys are answering the question I posed, I will read the other version real quick. So give me a second. Okay, so right here, yeah. Hey. Silence, silencio. At the test arena, yeah, the idiot went there. They said that the escaped hermit went that way too. I told them many times that the test arena is off limits to regulars. This is seriously frustrating. Looks like Rahab's going to have some trouble. Just let him do whatever he wants. Who's going to care if a jewel that's lost its light, unlightened, wanders around? Besides, even if someone notices, it's none of our concern. When that flower is fully dyed in darkness, it will awaken because she is the brightest and the darkest. Mago. By the will of Lord Phantom Minim, she is the one who will become the new queen of this tower. That is just so important. That's such an important line and detail that it's so crazy. I can't even get out in the sun, yo. The sun's just cooking me, you know? I do think the queen would be above Zahard. Urek fighting a previous luminous one turned dark would be interesting. What if Mago ultimate defeat creates the red trash bin? Red light distract? That's a good, I don't know. Since the text said new queen, it probably meant replace or be above Zahard. As in, yeah, new, I think new, you're right. I think new is the important word because it's like out with the old, in with the new, now you rule. I don't even know, man. This is kind of crazy. I really didn't expect to have lore dumps and stuff like this in this spinoff. I didn't expect it, so we'll have to just see. And maybe through seeing another luminous one or whatever the case may be, we'll be able to better understand. But I also wonder. Bear with me for a second. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. Mago is a Fanta Jewel? Absolutely possible. No, Evelyn, I think, had a nonchalant reaction. I don't think that she would act like that. Okay. If I destroy or kill a being, so to speak, outside the tower, let me switch camera scenes 1 second. Right? And now I'm wearing them on my arm like a VVS bracelet. Go in the tower. Leave it in the tower to become a being. Are you born in the tower at that point? Are you an irregular? Are you some weird Bam Rachel version of an irregular? Or are you an in-tower born habitant? Why do I ask this? Even as powerful as Phantom Minim is, I wonder how much he understands about irregulars in the tower. So if he really wanted to create something strong enough to defeat Zahard, it would need to probably be an irregular. You get what I'm saying? But if he didn't know that, maybe he thought just letting a luminous one thing hatch in here would be enough. What say you to that? I have something forming here, but there's puzzle pieces not fully, and a lot of times you guys help me understand what it is I'm trying to say a lot. Like, I've said this a million times. If you put me in an escape room and I had to get out myself, I might die. I might not make it out. You put me in an escape room with 3 other people, the probability goes up 60%. Why? I'm usually pretty good. I'm like is it the Sherlock Holmes quote? When you rule out the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable it may seem. I'm good at hearing the wrong thing enough times to be like, this is the right thing. Because I've heard the wrong thing 3 times. Now I know what the right thing is. Every escape room I've done with people, I've gotten out of. There was one I did alone, one I did with 2 people. Those were with one and somebody else. I didn't get out of those ones. And it's not me tooting my horn, saying I'm the greatest or super smart or whatever. It's just like, I think it was the pan. I think it was the candle wick. I think it was a stereo. And I'm like, no. It was the TV remote because I heard the wrong answer enough. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry. Mago is a Fanta Jewel. It's possible. If Mago is another older luminous one, do you think she'll be more than Urek could handle at the moment if they fight? Yeah. Unless he is somehow stronger and brightness is not the indicator of strength or shininess, luminousness if you want. Your level of luminosity. But what if even his rough handling of Shinsu is the equalizer? Because that person doesn't know anything about Shinsu yet. So maybe by the time he sees Mago, he's got even a very basic understanding of Shinsu, and that's the equalizer. That's a great question, Han. New thought, if Fanta has a call, do you think Fanta already visited Zahard's castle? Yeah. Gotta, probably, yeah. That's Spock, if I remember correctly. Vulcan? Since Mago is being reborn in the tower, you think the laws of the tower would apply to her unlike a actual irregular, which means she shouldn't use Shinsu without a contract nor harm Zahard. That's what I'm saying. If somehow Phantom Minim didn't know that irregular shenanigans, just I'm the strongest here, it could be a problem. And sometimes when somebody is one of my favorite lines, and I don't remember where I heard this from, was like, I think it was from a sports series, or maybe it was a martial arts series. I'm like, we need a strategy to beat him, or like, he probably has a great strategy to defeat us or whatever. And he's like, I am simply better than you. I'm stronger, faster, bigger, more experienced, more talented. I require no plan but to go out there and beat you. Planning is for the weak, the people who are inferior. I don't need to plan. I just win. I dominate. And it reminds me too, like if I'm facing a football team, soccer, that I know is beneath us, I don't play to their level. I just beat them. It's like they need a strategy to beat us. We're better. As long as we play our normal game, that team will lose. So I'm wondering if because he was so strong, he never learned all the minutiae he needed to know about the tower. Just like a 1-2 and left. And that's why Mazino was able to stop this, because he didn't have enough information to maybe be like, oh, I should create an irregular outside, come back in the tower, this is Mago here, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, and maybe that could defeat Zahard someday. So, yeah. Nimoy the GOAT. Shout out to Leonard Nimoy. Rest in peace. Unless it was a retcon, Lee Rillo said that Phantom Minim showed up and disappeared before Rhett came into the tower. So maybe that's already happened. He's already left the tower, but these cultists or whatever just believe in Phantom Minim. I'm sorry, I forgot who said this earlier, but I like the idea of they're almost unofficial followers. You never actually, I don't know though, but by the will of Phantom Minim, I need more information. I don't know. That sounds like Murasaki Bara. Is basketball still fun to you? That was crazy, yo. Tepe, fight back. If you walk into the tower with a puppet body and then put a soul into it after you enter, would they be in a regular because the body from the outside? That's a great question. I'd say yeah, but I don't know. I still think we need a lot more information. As much as this is very intriguing, we're very much in that headcanon speculation, prognostication, theorizing territory for the time being. But I will genuinely think about this and put out like a video with my thoughts much more summarized, condensed, and a lot more streamlined. You guys helped me figure out a lot of it. But yeah. The will of Lord Phantom Minim could just be something he left behind. What if it's like a book or something, or a story so grand that, oh, he's the real king, Zahard's a false prophet or something. Like, there's so many directions I feel like you can go. I like the idea that maybe he's left behind something if someone found it. And it's like, by the will of Phantom Minim, I am the chosen one. He has chosen me to create Mago, the new queen. Like on some zealotry shit. Fanta 100% visited and just left Zahard's castle. I think the public thinks Phantom Minim came in the tower and dipped, but secretly he planted his Mago and gained a couple followers to do his bidding. I like it. The Fanta cult. You want that, Fanta? Is it like the Bam thing where he doesn't ask to be worshipped, but FUG do it every way? It's possible. He left a Bible or a pocket. He did some Arlene-ish. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. Phenomenal. I thought it was a good chapter, though. I think it's very interesting. Again, I'm worried. I got a lot of concerns. I'm going to choose to stay optimistic about it. By the way, how dare I not mention this? How dare I? Look at those lips. Let me stop. Let me stop. No, she looked good. I like her design. She looked good. I literally said lips. The first thing I saw was lips. I was like, what? High urine. You have some competition. So, yeah, shout out to her. Okay. 8.5 out of 10 for me. What would you guys give this chapter out of 10 if you had to rate it out of 10? I'm at an 8.5, definitely. Wouldn't go higher than a 9. Wouldn't go lower than an 8. I'm saying Ha family for sure though. For sure, I'm saying Ha family. Them lips is. I like lips. And even if you don't have lips, that's fine. This is so unrelated, but I had this conversation last night. White women. If you don't have lips, that's fine. I'll kiss your no lips. It's okay. It's literally not a problem. I think the little plump-ish lip fillers, when you guys are like this, you look weird. Don't get them. Be lipless. It's way better. That's it. That's all I have to say. It's not important. Ignore me. But, yeah. So, 9, 8.5, 8. This felt like a classic TOG hype. I feel it. 8.5. All right. I would also like to know what your favorite. Actually, this might be my favorite panel. Okay, hold on. I'm changing my favorite panel to her. I like her. I like the lips. But out of fairness, what I ended up choosing actually on Twitch was, for some reason, I like when Mazino kicked off the Queen Dolphin. I don't know why. It just moved me for some reason. I'm gonna find it for you. It's right here, where you kind of like kicked off of it, like this. I don't know why it moves me. It's clean. I feel like you did like 45 black flips before you landed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with it. I like that. I like it. The Mago thing is something interesting. Meanwhile, Urek'S in his fraternity. And lastly, we don't discriminate. We accept you, no limit. Yeah, it's like, what's that meme? I can't remember what it was, but it's like all breast size matter. Man, we're not discriminating. Big, small, and different. Big areola, small. I'm not. we love them all. We don't discriminate. At least I don't. The Fanta cult even could just exist for fun in the story. They could just be like a one-off thing that happens here and doesn't materialize into anything great. I'm going to say my favorite piece of dialogue is actually Baskerville being like, you are the king in this territory. The thank you from the Net Dolphin Queen is up there too, as for best like text dialogue things in this chapter. But I liked he was like, you are now the strongest in the area. You are the apex predator, the king of the food chain, whatever, top of the food chain right now. So like, yeah, you know? So, yeah. But, anyways. She said, whoa, I know. I'm a man. Let me stay out women's business. Live your life. I'm just saying. I don't discriminate. Let me stay out of women's business. Y'all do you. Y'all cook. Let me stay in my man cave over here. I don't have a man cave. All right. Any final questions, comments, and concerns anybody has? If not, we'll wrap this up and call it a stream. Dan's on. It's time for you to exit the story, brother. You don't need to see you anymore. But yeah, good chapter, man. Good chapter. I like what we had. I like what we had here today. Please remember to like the video. Please and thank you. That's important. I need your like. I need your validation. I need it. Also, please, if you can. Whoa, this is so big. If you can, the Patreon. Come through, man. We got that early content. That's Tower of God and Kubera. And some things that are just exclusive to here. You can't get this nowhere else. You need that. You need that in your life. So yeah. Go ahead and do that for me if you don't mind. If you want to, again, you know. It's up to you. $3, $6, or $12 CAD. And obviously, my second channel, Young Paperwork. I know it's been 2 months since I updated it, but it's about to get updated this coming week. Possibly Monday, not Friday though. So go ahead and join that too if any of that is interesting to you. But yeah, man, good chapter this week. I liked it a lot. I feel like I have a lot to wrap my head around, but I don't know. There's a lot of craziness going on in this tower right now. Dan's on to his purpose. If the theory of the multiverse turned out to be true, then the outside God may not relate to light and darkness at all. It's possible. That's what she said. Quant definitely beating Dan's on. I'll stop now. Peace. Dragon Clan. Ooh, yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for coming this week again. Try to make sure I record a little something for the rest of the week and some stuff for next week. But yeah, man. This was a good week. I enjoyed my Kubera read. I enjoyed my Tower of God read very much. Let's keep going. Let's keep climbing. Hopefully this injects a lot of interest back into this and people start to flock again. Because I have seen a little bit of a down taken interest with this series right now. Best dealing with the heat. Yo, man, the heat has been crazy over here. But, you know, we're making do. We're doing okay right now. I like the heat, though, so I'm okay with it. Y'all be safe. Nyhammock signing out. Yeah.